There are moments in life that, no matter how hard you try, you can never forget. Even if years have passed, when a song comes to your ears, your nose smells a scent, or you encounter a glance, it feels as if time stands still and you are living life again. I had such a moment too. One autumn morning, as the city lights were turning on and it was just beginning to wake up, I saw him as the cool breeze caressed my face. When I first saw him, it was as if time stood still. He was walking through the crowd, but everything around him seemed blurred. All I saw was his unique face. At that moment, it was as if something deep within my heart began to stir. It was something without a price, but what I felt inside was as if it were something I had been searching for years and had finally found. Feeling so close to a stranger in such a short time. Perhaps it didn't make sense logically, but the heart's logic worked differently in this regard. The only thing that went through my mind the moment I saw him was, this is it. Days passed, and the chain of coincidences continued amidst the city's hustle and bustle. We met again in the same place at the same time, but this time it was different. This time we made eye contact with him. She had a smile that was just a summary of the dozens, thousands of things she wanted to tell me. Finally, we started talking. The first words were ordinary, like a simple introduction. But what I felt inside, what I felt for him, was so much more than simplicity. Every moment I spent with him was enough to make me forget myself. As we talked, I shared my past, my wounds, my dreams, and what I had given up. He listened to me for hours and understood. Then he opened his whole world to me. He carried a lot of disappointments from his childhood, deep silences he couldn't share with anyone, and wounds he kept hidden. With each sentence, I got a little more lost in him. As time went on, we grew even closer. We never noticed how time flew by in those quiet streets we walked together. Innocent smiles shared on the edge of a coffee cup would silence the great quiet of the city. I felt like I was finding myself next to him, and he, in turn, made me feel that peace is possible amidst the deep complexity of this life. But there was always a but. Something was different. It was as if he had a secret he was hiding and couldn't share with me. Sometimes there would come a moment when his eyes would drift off into the distance, and sometimes he would fall silent in the middle of sentences that spilled from his lips. In those moments, a strange feeling I couldn't understand would wash over my heart. One day, gathering all my courage, I asked him, "What's inside you? What are you hiding from me that you haven't told me?" He was silent for a while. Then he raised his head and said to me, "There are some things in life, the closer you get, the further away they become. Sometimes you are furthest from what you want most." I wrote those words in my brain so deeply that it felt like I had forgotten everything else and only remembered those words. I tried to understand. I asked questions every time, but he would change the subject and silence me every time. As time went on, an invisible distance began to grow between us. The number of messages sent decreased, and our meetings started to be postponed. My heart had begun to break, in a way I couldn't control, without my permission. And one night at midnight, I received a message on my phone. "Don't forget me, but please don't call." When I read this message, it felt like a storm erupted in my heart, and the sound of it shattering echoed in my ears. My body was there, but my soul felt like it was hanging in a void. He disappeared after that day. I couldn't find him on social media, I couldn't reach him by phone, and I couldn't run into him on the streets. It was as if this huge city had swallowed him up. All that remained of him for me were his scent and memories. For months I lived that moment, went to the same places, and wandered through streets where I didn't understand how time passed. Maybe one day he'll cross my path again,